Hello, I'm here now. Do you hear me? Okay, shout out to Jason Lapined. Thank you for coming. Thank you sa iyong tamsak, Jason. Maraming salamat. Shout out to Mimiwi Pinay. Good PMT. Busy lang kasi, ligo po ako. Okay. Sige. Sino pa ba nandyan? Alright. Okay, welcome to my live stream, Boss Alkalich. Thank you for coming. Kimrak, welcome Kimrak, my good friend from Europe. Mega shout out, host. Kumusta na? Welcome, Gerald PS. Naka-live na po 'to. Yes, naka-live na ako ngayon. Start ng 6 PM. Mercy, welcome Mercy, my good friend. Thank you for coming, Mercy. Okay, madam. Maraming salamat. Shout out to NC Melly, may good friend too na laging umaaten na parehas din kay Jason na araw-araw umaaten. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat. Ayan si Melly. And thank you din sa tamsak. Ayan, Sweetie Mami. Thank you, Sweetie Mami. Nandito ka rin pala. Maraming salamat. Mamaya, ako'y pupunta sa'yo after my LS. Sweetie Mami, tamsak. I thank you. Maraming salamat sa tamsak mo, Sweetie Mami. Maraming salamat. Today's readings, mayroon akong babasahin. Tungkol sa God. Dito, warm and muggy today. And thanks to the tropical storm, Cristobal, thanks goodness we aren't getting the rain from the storm. The recorder with John Hethos. What is a patron saint? Patron saints are saints chosen as a special protectors or guardians over areas of life. These areas can include occupations, illnesses, churches, countries, causes, anything that is important to us. Some are assigned by venerable tradition, while others are specifically designated. Patron saints are typically chosen because they have some connection to a particular region, profession, cause, or even illness. From the earliest days of the Catholic Church, groups of the faithful have chosen particularly holy deceased people to intercede with God on their behalf. Although individuals can always pray directly to God, praying to a saint is like asking a friend to speak on your behalf. People often like to do novenas asking the help of patron saints. For example, someone seeking an accounting job might pray a novena to Saint Matthew. Yan. Pag ikaw ay naghahanap ng work na accounting job, pwede ka magnobena sa Saint Matthew, who was a tax collector and is patron saint of accountants. Another who is struggling with emotional or mental distress might ask the help of Saint Dempna. Attached are two links. Dalawang links yung naka-attach with list of patron saints, which can make for interesting reading. Specific novenas to some of these saints can be found in the books or through internet searches, but one doesn't need a pre-written novena in order to ask the help of a specific saint, just as this. That's all I can share to you guys about the intention for anything that you want, whether you're looking for is about job or in sickness like that. Mayroon lang akong basahin sa inyo para sa, ito sa magazine, galing kay, itong magazine na to, pinapadalhan kami lagi, monthly. From the National Commander, Stephen Butch Whitehead, advocate responsibly this Election season. This is not. We're gonna read this. Imagine. I think no more. Okay, may babasahin ako, The 40 over 40 Rules. This is a book, Wisdom from 40 Women, over 40 volume 2. Written by, this is Meredith Allen Gordon, my daughter-in-law. I'm gonna read this one. Chapter 1, Wisdom comes in many forms. How important do you feel commitments are? I was taught at a very young age to do what you say and say what you'll do. Commitments are super important to me. I believe in always following through with what I agree to. If for some reason you can't, then I believe you should recognize, you should renegotiate the agreement of possible. So many ignore the situation when what they say can't be done, and it makes things worse. When in your life were you most committed to someone or something? There have been many times in my life I have been committed. My marriages, yes, several. My friendships, jobs, and church calling right now. I would say I am most committed to building my future, which includes my retirement with Scott, husband, family, and play. What time of the day are you most productive and why? I always said 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I tell Scott jokingly, sorry, you miss it. Now, as my business has moved forward and life changes, I find myself getting up earlier and exercising, then getting to work earlier in the morning, showering around 9 to 10 a.m., and going back to my home office to work. Until the last few years, I have never had my office out of my home. This has changed the way I am productive in positive and negative ways. Positive because I can take breaks when I need to, change laundry, make meals, etc. Negative, almost the same reasons. There are many more distractions when I am home. I have noticed when I can stay more focused and not so many interruptions, things are more productive. Imagine that. Okay, continue. Share a time in your life when you felt the most creative and productive. Being labeled the idea girl, there are many times I have felt creative and productive. I owned a salon and spa for 18 years, and that was a time in my life I was able to create many changes and be creative with my clients. I feel the most productive when I finish projects like events, decorating my home, or other home and giving service to others. Service has always been a big part of my life. Every company I have started has been service based also. The jobs I work, like waitressing, cleaning hotel rooms, and several retail jobs working with the public. I am most productive when I'm working with people. On a side note, when I do self care and vacation in a small chunks, my productivity and creativity skyrocket. This is super important to my success, and I hope yours as well. If not, it should be. What do you suggest to others for creativity and productivity? Find what works for you. Everyone is different. What motivates you may not motivate someone else. I love to shop, yet a lot of my friends don't. I love to do shop, yet a lot of my friends don't. Although I can't imagine that. Having nice things makes me feel fancy and rich. Feeling joy and feeling rich doesn't always have to be about spending money for me. I can hit a good yard sale and be on cloud nine. There are treasures everywhere, and that can feed our creativity and make you more productive, in my opinion. Again, when I put self care in my regimen, it fuels my soul to do bigger and better things. What are your top three values? These are easy for me, although I have many more values than these: integrity, kindness, loyalty. In what way have you been financially successful? On the lessons I have learned from having nine successful startup companies. Some have worked out better than others. I have learned to live within my means and not be motivated to have the newest and greatest things. Differing between needs and wants is a great lesson to learn early in having financial success. Paying and and honest, it doesn't hurt either. Okay. Shout out to Precious Kylie, Yuma. Thank you for coming, Preciously. Thank you, thank you. And thank you too sa iyong tamsak. Maraming salamat. You're very, very welcome to my live stream. Live stream. Oh yeah. O sige, pagpatuloy ko 'tong basahin, magdikitan na lang kayo diyaan. Sino pa ba yang nandiyan? Bago pa lang, mamaya-maya pa siguro dadating ang ibang mga kaibigan. Mga tulog pa siguro. Sige, nagbabasa. Makinig na lang, pakinggan mo kung interested kayo. Every company I have had have taught me valuable lessons in my life. For me, success can be defined in many ways. I have never been money motivated as much as people motivated. I had learned this about myself when I ran for political office a couple of times. It is hard to win when money and power don't motivate you. Yes, I lost. And with that loss, I feel like I was the biggest winner of all. It was not my journey to be on and serve. In that capacity, it took a lot of heartache and money loss to realize that don't motivate. This question is about financial success. However, the losses are sometimes our biggest gains. The lesson we can learn from our financial mistake helps us to grow and achieve more inspiration for the next situation so we can use that knowledge to further our finances and move forward to future decisions. Those of us who learn from others' mistakes and follow their directions are way ahead than those who don't. Having a mentor is never a bad idea. A leader in where you want to be, save time, money, and headache. I have read many books on business, money, and investing, which has taught me many things and helped me become financially successful. What is the best financial advice you have learned? Yan, yung tanong na yan. What is the best financial advice you have learned? There have been many ups and downs in my life with husbands, businesses, children, and friends. And let's not forget change. Finding balance and the guts to pivot when needed is key. I have started over 4 times in my life from almost nothing, learning to pick myself up and know that I can do it again is important. Having cheerleaders in your corner is critical. One thing I know is that I believe there is always more money when everything is in financial ruin. I always know money can be earned again and stuff can be replaced, but people and relationships are a different story. As I get older and look at setting up for retirement, my risks are not as risky. More consideration is involved in my decision making. A little more research is done when making bigger purchases. We must learn to be wise with our money. So the universe will bring us more, as it is all just an energy exchange. Everything is a give and take. When I am willing to give more, then more is received. I truly believe this. What bit of wisdom would you share with the younger generation? Ayan, what bit of wisdom would you share with the younger generation? Okay. Don't second guess your decision and make them without emotion. Trust your gut instinct. It is usually right. Give up perfection. Learn to manage your time. Here are some of my suggestions for this. Stay focused. Keep a calendar. Stop multitasking. Learn to delegate. Set obtainable goals, long and short term. Track your time spent on project. Don't fuse about unimportant details. Time block. Start early. Finish faster. Don't work on impulse. Make your to-do list a success list, but flexible with your success list. Disconnect to reconnect. Schedule time for interruptions. Don't take on more than you can handle. Breath. Next. What is your favorite quote or mantra? The platinum rule, it is a higher level of service than the golden rule. Treat orders the way they want to be treated. Yan, and what is your favorite quote or mantra? The next is, what are three must read books? Mine, of course. Inbox, Outbox, Unbox, No Box by Holly Porter. The 40 over 40 Rules, book value number one, compiled by Holly Porter. The 30 over 30 Rules, book volume one, compiled. Shout out to Jason, BCC host. Okay. Yeah, I'm just reading the book of my daughter-in-law. So while waiting some of those who wants to join my live streams, I just reading these books for the meantime that nothing else to come or whoever, whatever. I don't know, but I am happy that you are here listening while I'm reading this. Yeah, this is the true life. That is the true life of the daughter-in-law who wrote this book, and she want me to read this. So this is my opportunity time that while the live stream going on and entertain to all who join here. So after that, I use my time to read while waiting some who are coming. So if you, Jason, if you want to listen this is a true story. Okay, chapter 2. Let's do this thing called life. Yan. Let's do this thing called life. Okay. How important do you feel commitments are? The answer is very important. If you can't commit, don't do it. Yeah, that's what the book says. Next, when in your life were you most committed to someone or something? The answer is when I was growing up, the thing that I wanted most in life was to be a mom. When I had the beautiful blessings of being a mom, I committed myself to be the best mom I possibly could. Oh, that's what they say. Next, what time of the day are you most productive and why? She said 8 a.m. noon. 8 a.m. to noon. I feel great after I go to the gym and have breakfast. My next few hours are my go get hours. That's what they say. What time of the day are you most productive and why? Next is share a time in your life when you felt the most creative and productive. I am a realtor and I love making individual websites for my clients. I get to use my creative skills, but also love the results that come from this passion. What do you suggest to others for creativity and productivity? If you have passion, you will be creative with it. I also love self help books like this one, and I am always reading and learning new skills to become more creative and productive. I also love taking classes or flower arranging. calligraphy, and cake decorating. What are your top three values? Integrity, charity, honesty. In what way have you been financially successful? Honestly, I feel like my husband and I did everything wrong. Financially, when we were first married, we were started reading Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman books about financial freedom. We began learning about finances and have been good with them since, thus becoming financially successful. I also have worked hard to become the best realtor I can be. I am always taking classes and educating myself to become better than the day before. What is the best financial advice you have learned? Eat like a college kid until you can eat like a king. That's a bit extreme, but you know what I'm saying. Make it a habit to save money early on in your career, even if it is just $50 a month. Put money into a 401,000 and stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. My maiden name is Jones. So this has always been funny to me. If you can pay cash for it, you don't need it, with the exceptions of purchasing a home, car, and education. What bit of wisdom would you share with the younger generations? Don't forget to be kind. Use your manners and always remember to call your parents. Stay out of debt. Don't drink your colors. Don't drink your calories. Practice self care, especially when you feel like you don't have the time for it. That is the time when you need. That is the time when you need it the most. Go to the dentist every 6 months. I I know nobody likes doing that, but your smile is is the gateway to your soul, and you will always be glad you took care of it. The gateway to your soul. I remember when I was in middle school and I was talking to my sisters. We must have been gossiping because our dad walked in the room and said, "If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all." And then he turned around and walked out of the room. That little statement has stuck with me, and I try to hold my tongue. If something unkind wants to come out, last but not least, please put down your phone when you are at lunch or dinner with anyone. It is very rude to keep looking at your device, and I promise, whatever it is that you want to look at can wait for an hour. What is your favorite quote or mantra? Don't sacrifice what you want most for what you want today. This simple but profound quote can help you in any aspect of your life. For example, I really want to save money for a new car, but those shoes are calling my name. I don't want to go to the gym this week because I'm tired, but I really want to look great in my swimming suit next month. Try it yourself the next time that you are facing a decision and see what looking at the big picture does for your current choice. What are three must read books? What are three must read books? These scriptures, Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, Getting Back to Happy by March and Angel Shirok. Ay, Pastor. Next, chapter 3, Stop Surviving, Start Thriving. How important do you feel commitments are? Commitments and honoring your word are very important. However, I have learned importance trumps obligation. Many are often caught up in portraying an image and fearful of disappointing someone. They are too afraid to speak their truth. When we don't speak up, we end up feeling resentful toward the person with whom we had the obligation. We create this false image that they made us sacrifice something important. The harsh reality is we made a choice to sacrifice instead of speaking up. So I'll repeat it in case you miss it the first time. Importance trumps obligations. When in your life were you most committed? To someone or something? In 2012, I committed to me. Unfortunately, it took losing two loved ones 9 days apart to be awakened to the harsh reality that I was not living my life. I wasn't in the driver's seat of my life. I wasn't even in the back seat. I was in the trunk. I was emotionally, physically, and mentally bankrupt. I was at my highest weight ever, unhappy, depressed, and felt like a complete failure in all aspects of my life. Let me tell you, that's a hard place to come back from. It was a slow process, but my life was radically transformed because I took inspired action from that place of darkness. Some changes I made are instead of zoning out to TV every night, I began listening to audiobooks and podcasts that fed my mind and inspired me. I began walking more, exercising, and fueling my body with healthy foods. I replace negative self talk and limiting beliefs with positive self talk, affirmations, and journaling. Sana ba ako? I analyze my inner circle. I distance myself from toxic people, set healthy boundaries with others, and nourish the relationship that were healthy and uplifting. I began to implement daily self-love practices, showing yourself even a little bit of love daily goes a long way. I stopped trying to do everything myself and found mentors and hired coaches who motivated me and challenged me to be my best self. What time of the day are you most productive and why? Previously, I would have said mid morning. However, as I've gotten older, I would have to say early afternoon. Part of this has to do with a change to my schedule. I used to get up around 5 a.m. daily to go to work. Now that I am self employed, I let my body wake up when it's ready and tend to be more productive in the early afternoon. Share a time in your life when you feel the most creative and productive. In 2015, I moved to California to build the training organization for a fast growing protein bar company. There was a lot of work to be done, and I thrived under pressure. It was chock full of problems and challenges, which allowed me to put my critical thinking and problem solving skills to full use. The company was on mission that I was 100% behind, and the environment was calling for radical change, which inspired my creativity and motivated me to implement change rapidly to enhance the lives of our employees. What do you suggest to others for creativity and productivity? Schedule some fun when we become stressed or overwhelmed. Fun is one of the first things sacrificed because having fun often feels irresponsible. However, the reality is fun is necessary to boost your creativity. Play has been proven to increase motivation and productivity. It can also lower your stress levels and boost your optimism. Think about kids. They are super creative, imaginative, and relaxed. They also have way more than fun. As boring, responsible adults, I get that you have things to do and bills to pay, but where can you fit in more fun? What's a funny movie? Play with your kids, invite friends over for game nights, or dance like no one is watching. The ideas for fun and laughter are endless, so be creative. What are your top three values? Authenticity, integrity, and compassion. In what way have you been financially successful? Coming from a place of scarcity, I was always clawing and fighting for more. My self worth came from my ability to work hard, hustle, and grind. When I dropped out of high school at the age of 16, my mother and grandmother told me I would never amount to anything without a high school diploma and a college degree. When I became a single mom at the young age of 21, my mother and grandmother again were very critical and said I could never do it on my own and must marry the father. While those words hurt deeply at the time, I now know they were just scared for me and speaking their own Limiting beliefs. Those words fueled me for years. It was dirty fuel, but it lit a fire in me. I was bound and determined to prove them wrong. And I did. I built a highly successful six figures career in corporate training and leadership while raising a daughter with only my gift. What is the best financial advice you have learned? My financial success came at a cost. While my focus was hell bent on proving them wrong, I never stopped to enjoy the journey. I was always aiming for my next move, but I was stressed out and overwhelmed because there was never enough. I was never good enough, and I didn't have enough nice things to show that I'd made it. It was just never enough. I needed more to prove myself, or so I thought. One of the most impactful books I've read on this subject is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. If your motivation for acquiring money or success comes from a non supportive root, such as fear, anger, or the need to prove yourself, your money will never bring you happiness. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. This book opened my eyes to all the ways I was not receiving and how people and the universe stop offering when you consistently refuse to accept the offering. It, it truly is a life changing book. My advice would be that you are enough. No material possession will ever prove your worth. Live beneath your means so you can secure your future and give back. What bit of wisdom would you share with the younger generations? Often, you are afraid of portraying the right image and perfection to the point you lose yourself and your own identity. You fail to speak your truth for fear of being judged. Stop pretending to have your shit together and be the wonderfully messy, wildly imperfect, authentic you. Those who love you for you will still be there, and those who do not aren't meant to be in your tribe. What is your favorite quote or mantra? My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. What are three must read books? The Power of Vulnerability, Abundance Now. Number three, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Chapter 4, Success and Second Chances. How important do you feel commitments are? Commitments are extremely important to me. A commitment to an organization, another person, or a cause gives me a sense of belonging and a feeling I'm contributing to something bigger than myself. When in your life were you most committed to someone or something? When I left my air traffic control job, I had been working on my new career in real estate for 2 years. I feel since I decided to go full time into real estate, I had to be very committed to do that venture. I knew my success depended greatly on my level of commitment. If I weren't willing to go out and do things to get new business, I wouldn't have any clients. I love contributing income to my family, and the bonus is I love being able to help other people through their real estate needs. Historically, new real estate agents fail in the first year or two, and even more by the 5 year mark. So I knew to go into real estate being very committed to trying new things and being creative to help me stand out from others. Two things that help me stay committed are my desire to take care of my family and my want to help others with their real estate needs. They go hand in hand and help keep me motivated and pushing through during the time where it might not be seen fun. What time of the day are you most productive and why? Mornings tend to be my most productive time of day. I tend to rise before anyone else in my home to get some quiet time to dedicate to myself and my personal growth. My mind feels fresh in the morning like a clean slate, and I feel like anything is possible. I love doing some affirmations, reading, and soul searching in the morning. Typically, I know the night before what is ahead for the next day, and I can finish my details for the day schedule in the morning. Share time in your life when you left the most creative and productive. About a year ago, I began working with a marketing company to help me with my business. During the time, I have opened the door to more creativity and having fun in my business. I also dream up ideas to share with my friends, even though they may not work for me. My business doesn't have to be all strict and stuffy. Rather, it needs to reflect me. Taking a marketing course helped me bring out my creativity and increase productions in my business. What do you suggest to others for creativity and productivity? Find an outlet where you can utilize various skills and receive several benefits. Try a class you've never done before, something completely opposite of what you already are familiar with, whether it's an art skill you work on. You contribute your time to others in need or work on your organizing and leadership skills. Get out of what you already know and learn something new. Sana ba ako? Okay. What are your top three values? Integrity is my top value. Always do what is right, no matter who sees or knows. When you have integrity, others will trust you. For me, honesty goes hand in hand with integrity. When you are honest, you never need to remember what you said about something. You just speak the truth. There are nice ways to see things that don't sound easy. To me, compassion is caring about others even if they differ from me. Each of us is valuable and can bring values to the world, and respecting that is huge to my heart. In what way have you been financially successful? I would say that being determined and not giving up have allowed me to be financially successful. I learned a skill in the Air Force that I was able to utilize many years later, and it allowed me to take care of my children and me through divorce without any child support. What a tremendous blessing and relief that was to me. Since I've switched to real estate, I've had similar success by being persistent, listening to what has worked for others, and trying new ideas too. What is the best financial advice you have learned? Sound simple, but always put some money aside for the future. If you can do that from the time you are young, it will be easier when you are older. And compounded interest is the best thing ever. It's way too hard to try to catch up when you feel it's easier to save money. Always save some of your paycheck for the future. What bit of wisdom would you share with the younger generations? Don't be afraid to listen to yourself. I believe no one knows better than you what is best for you. When you try to follow a path someone else creates, it's hard to feel authentic. Be thoughtful and wise about the choice you make, but listen and trust yourself. What is your favorite quote or mantra? Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Understanding this really put life into perspective for me. Battles are not always physical and visible, but they exist in each of us. It is what it is. This is the next chapter 5. Um, by Meredith Allen Gordon, my daughter-in-law. This is her story in life. How important do you feel commitments are? Your word is your promise, and your promise is your commitment. Commitments are critical when maintaining trust and defendability, as well as allowing others to know you are serious about their time as you are about your own time. This then boils down to common courtesy. When you say you will do something, then do it. When you are unable to keep your commitments, then communicate. Take responsibility and do not flake out. Next, when in your life were you most committed to someone or something? I'm thinking about commitment. I have always been committed to my faith in God, my family, and to my friends who are family. I put my faith in God to help guide my life for a greater purpose. This greater purpose is to be as useful as possible. I am changing my life works to do just that. I am developing a non-profit organization, launching a new business, and going back into an industry that I thought I had left in the past. I am committed to these ventures, events, and most of all the people in my life, more than I had ever been before. What time of the day are you most productive and why? With commitment comes productivity and creativity. I am and always have been a night owl. It is generational curse handed down from my grandma Irene to my mother Mary Ann and now on to me. It is in the stillness of the night where I find the most inspiration, the most insanely creative ideas, and the answers to problems or situations I have faced during the day. Share a time in your life when you felt the most creative and productive. When the changes and challenges I am facing in my life, I am finding that I am the most creative and productive in my 40s than at any other time in my life. While my 20s and 30s were filled with major life accomplishment, they were not necessarily creative or productive. I am looking forward to the remaining years of my 40s to be the most creative and productive yet. What do you suggest to others for creativity and productivity? For those afraid to allow yourself to let the creative juice flow. What are you afraid of? I say step out of your comfort zone and try something new. I'm not saying go jump out of perfectly good airplane, although the experience will
What do
not
you suggest
disappoint
to others
thrill
listening?
seekers. But go to a sip in a paint event, learns to cross stitch, or take a few cooking classes. These are just a couple of suggestions for you to get out of your comfort zone and get your creative choices flowing. What are your top three values? What are your top three values? As I stated earlier, I am committed to my faith in God, family, and friends who are family without my faith and commitments to these people in my life. I would not be the person I am today. I have deep seated values, respect for myself and others, honesty, and believe in second chances. During these divisive times, I feel that general respect for each other, for our thoughts, our opinions, and how we live our life is needed more than ever. Honesty to myself and to others is paramount to my existence. I tend to be brutally honest to those close to me and to others, as that is how I was raised. Without honesty, there can be no trust. Without trust, there cannot be a true and open relationship. Once trust is broken, second chance need to have honesty for trust and the relationship to be rebuilt. These values are core to my relationship and to who I am as a person. In what way have you been financially successful? My financial success came when I was an executive human resources manager for a national retail chain. Excuse me. I made the most money at the time and learned the most about business and people. Yet I was the unhappiest in that
Financially
position
successful.
due to the
When did
corporate
you feel
culture. It was then when I needed to reevaluate my financial well being. What is the best financial advice you have learned? After several years of bad financial decisions, I sought out a professional financial advisor. Not that I did not know how to live within my means, but by this time I had a family that I needed to keep financially stable. I found someone I could trust and have them be brutally honest with me. What bit of wisdom would you share with the younger generation? My advice for the younger generation is to educate yourself financially. Understand that while we all pay into Social Security, it will most likely not be there as a retirement option. Save now while you are young. Find a financial advisor who will help guide you to and thought through your own path to financial freedom. Work hard, play hard, and live your life to the fullest every single moment of every single day. What is your favorite quote or mantra? Mantra. It is what it is. Life is complicated, messy, fun, hysterical, happy, sad, and everything in between. It is what it is the one mantra that sums up most of life's situation that we all must face. What are three must read books? Reading is incredibly difficult for me as I struggle with dysclasia. Finding a book that keeps me interested is difficult at best, but these three books are worth the read. Basic Instruction Before Leaving Earth, also known as the Bible, helps to keep me grounded in my faith in God. I also love a good laugh. As such, I have an all black cat who always seems to be plotting against me. I found how to tell if your cat is plotting to kill you. By the oatmeal, this book helps to answer questions about cat behaviors and is a historical guide to all things funny about plotting cats. My final commendation for another good book to read, This Good Daughter. This is a gripping story that also happens to be a difficult subject matter. Some people may not be able to handle this as the story brings forth issues today's society sees happening and the headlines. It is well worth the time for a page turning drama. Meredith Allen Gordon MSIS MBA, resides in the Greater Las Vegas Valley with her family. She is currently developing a 501 open close parenthesis letter C three organizations. The Marcus Gordon Foundation, which focuses on kids, helping kids in crisis. She is an avid animal lover and will know the name of your critter before she knows yours. She also loves swimming, movies, and family adventures. That's all. Next is chapter 6, under new management. Okay, under new management. How important do you feel commitments are? It is vital that a commitment made be a commitment kept. You may get your feelings hurt or angry when someone breaks their commitments to you. This is true whether it is in your personal, professional, or spiritual life. When in your life were you most committed to someone or something? One special time comes to mind when I think about the favor God showed me when I was asked to be the program manager of an organization called PACE, Parents Advancing Choice, in educational here in Dayton, Ohio. The program deals with educating parents on how to educate their children better. It also offers them financial aid if they desire to have their children in a private educational setting. I have never taken on an assignment with this much responsibility, accountability, and stability. I felt afraid and overwhelmed because the position was new and had never been done. I was afraid to succeed. Yes, I was afraid to try something I had never attempted. I continued to allow negative thoughts to haunt me as others continued to build me up to be the person for the job. I made a commitment to myself in December of 2000. When I decided to take the position, I committed to the following. Stop feeling defeated before I am defined. Number two, start telling myself that why I wants me. Number three, stand up to my fears so my fears fall down because of my faith. What time of the day are you most productive and why? Early morning between the hours of 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. is when I am most productive. I wake up feeling blessed and excited about each new day God gives me and for the miracles I will experience. Since I can control my happiness, once I walk out the door, I handle what I can before I leave the house. Share a time in your life when you felt the most creative and productive. I was talking I was taking training for the Dayton Urban League to be better equipped to videotape job orientation session with our local television station. My first day behind the camera to videotape a show called Word Up. A call came from the host informing us they were stuck in traffic and wouldn't make the show on time because the guests and audience were already in place. The director asked the technicians and the audience, can anyone please step up and serve as a host for this one time? I responded, what does a host need to do? After they explained, I started thinking and thinking as my creative juice were flowing, and I created a plan. With my plan in my mind, I said, look, folks, we are not going to let this guest be here in vain, and together we can make this show happen. Since I had on jeans and a regular shirt and was not planning on being in front of the camera, I need someone who wears a large sweater or blouse to let me borrow it quickly. I also need someone who wears a very colored lipsticks to let me borrow it. I need someone to let me borrow a comb and a brush also, who is going to make sure This show goes on. Who is with me? My goodness, my goodness. I had no idea the avalanche of folk that would be willing to dress me for my first talk show. I ended up doing the DATV Word Up program for 4 years. I don't think I have never thought on the fly like that. I was proud when the director said, Tarya, you are a natural in front of the camera. What do you suggest to others for creative and productivity? You must let yourself be free of thinking too logical. Dream and dream big. Then you can start building on what you had dreamed about by working towards your goals. For example, I was able to step in front of the came video camera because I was a vocalist and won many talent shows and spelling bees. You must be willing to step in front of whatever it is you feel you can't do or have never done and just do it. Think back to when you were a child. You were more than likely creative. Many times people let go of their childlike innocence when helps to be bold and daring. What are your top three values? Number one, family. Number two, faith. And number three is competence. In what way have you been financially successful? I strategically look at where my money is going based on the demand of what I am offering. Number two, I determine what hours of the day I can produce the most income. Number three, I plan my work and work my plan. Number four, I surround myself with experts who are financially successful as me. What is the best advice you have learned? Be vigorous at first. Number one. Number two, investigate before you participate. Number three, learn to invest in yourself first. Number four, work smarter, not harder, by making your money work for you. Matatapos na ang aking live stream. Magpapasalamat ako sa inyong lahat sa pagpunta rito. Unang-una si Boss Als, hello. Next, Camera, Mega, Jarrold, maraming salamat. Mercy, salamat. Camera again, salamat. Ah, And si Melly, salamat sa pagdating. Salamat sa pagkinig ng aking binabasa. Sweetie Mommy, maraming salamat sa pagtamsak at pag-join mo sa aking live stream at nakikinig sa habang ako'y nagbabasa. And Jason, my friend, thank you, nakikinig sa habang ako'y nagbabasa sa kanila. Mimiwi, maraming salamat, ganon din, nakinig din sila. Okay, bye for now. Salamat.